Hello, my wonderful, wonderful people. I was driving today, and yeah, I have another camera on my dash, and I also have that camera on my dash. And I saw a car on fire, and I saw the young lady. She was standing way too close to the car. Everybody was going around it, and I'm quite sure hundreds of people called the police to help her out. And when I pulled over to make sure she was okay, and plus she was just standing too close to the car. I wanted to make sure she was way away from the car when it blew up. So that's why I pulled over, put my lights and stuff on. I know I should have put out my triangles. I know I'm going to hear it from the truckers, but I was afraid that one of those pieces of metal was going to fly and hit her because she was really too close to the car. And when I got to her, she really did not speak English. Everything on her phone was in Spanish. And I was like, did you call 911? Did you call police? She was like, no police. So I'm quite sure everybody else had called. So I made sure I called for her to let her know there's a young lady on the side of the road and her car is on fire. And she's by herself, and because I think her husband was on the phone with her. He didn't speak English either. But she pushed the English button and allowed me to call the police. I dialed 911 and called, and they said, yeah, we just got a few calls and they're on their way. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay with her till y'all get here, because I don't want her to stand on the side of the road by herself. And usually people go stand over in the woods. She didn't want to go and stand over in the woods, probably because she was scared of snakes, I don't know. And so I just brought her to my truck and took her to the side, just in case somebody did try to hit my truck or something like that. But they were going too slow, so I wasn't really worried about that. And I stayed with her until the police got there. And I think that when you do something good, I think we should all make a video about something good we did. And later on, earlier that morning, before I even helped her, there was a driver on the road. Some of y'all might tune in to this if y'all are driving. Y'all was driving early this morning, like at 4 or 5 o'clock this morning in Pennsylvania. A driver was sleeping. He was going side to side to side, going from lane to lane. I was like, oh Lord. So I got behind him and I flashed my lights. I blew my horn to wake him up, and he would wake up and straighten up. But he was so tired. I was like, kept blowing for him to pull over, and he wouldn't pull over. So I just put my flashers on and stayed behind him, just in case he did roll over. I could try to call somebody for him. If he was having a heart attack or having anything, I could be there. So I rolled behind him, and I kept him awake by blowing my horn. Everybody else, of course, was cursing me out and going around me, but I'm like, this is why, because he's barely driving good. So I stayed with him until he got to the rest stop. And as soon as he got to the rest stop, he pulled off like he was so much. I don't know if it was she or he. I just stayed behind him, keeping my bright. I would flash my beams to keep him, from going over to the side. And then I would blow my horn to wake him up or her up. I don't know if it was a man or female. I just did not want them to get hurt. But I rode with them until they got off at the exit, and I gave them a doot. And I was just so glad they were okay. It's nothing wrong with helping people. I feel good about it. So if I'm boasting and not being modest about it, that's what I'm doing. Because I think we all should be bragging about helping people, bragging about saving people's lives, bragging about being good, about donating money to help somebody. That's what they do when they raise money on TV. They bragging about it. When they raise money and say, oh, we raised $1,500. When you do a GoFundMe, oh, we didn't got our GoFundMe account. We didn't got all that we asked for to pay for the funeral. We didn't got all we asked for to pay for her operation. Isn't that bragging and being boastful? So don't take that scripture and take it the other way. Take it that it's okay, because you are not anybody's slave. You do not have to submit to anybody anymore. Only thing you need to submit to is being good and helping somebody out. Okay, police is here now. I called and got us some help, because not one person would stop to help her. Voiceover, notice how he pulled the car out to let me by and stop traffic. Thank you, officer.